I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Chiefs going up against the Cowboys. With that, let's go out to AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one. Charles, let me ask you about this Dallas defense, because so much hype, obviously, and rightfully so, about the offense. But this defense, they've held their own, have they not?
Indeed they have, and in a lot of cases, they've led the charge on defense, made plays. And let's face it, going into the season, we thought they might finish last in the league in defense. They had a lot of guys suspended. They spent a second-round pick on a defender that we all knew was not going to play this season in Jalen Smith. Yet somehow they fashioned it together, led by Sean Lee, and become a cohesive unit that doesn't worry about who gets the credit, and have had guys emerge and make plays that you didn't expect.
Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
It's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now it's Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
Yeah, maybe a little of both. And the D looking like they may blitz. Smith on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. So it'll be first down here after the run. first and 10. Smith. They complete it to Hill. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On first down, Smith. This will be caught at about the 5. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Spencer Ware punching it in from a yard away. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. And he puts it through. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Charles, this Chiefs defense came up big when they needed to against Denver. Had the big stop in overtime. A free kick return touchdown, a safety. They had played an integral role.
And they got Justin Houston back, and they've been looking forward to that for a long time. It was the second game back since the ACL surgery that he had last season. But, boy, what a force he is, because, remember, D Ford stepped up this year and really took some of the pressure off of the loss of Justin Houston. Justin Houston is back and letting everyone know he can handle his business from here on out.
And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. On second down, Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. And he motions the wide receiver. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Fielded just inside the 30. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points.
Hey, rookie, that's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Second down, 9 yards to go. They'll come out in the pistol. A second down throw for Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. 3rd and long for Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Des Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. These Kansas City Chiefs get ready to go on offense and try to keep pace with Oakland. Out west, they're 8-3, Oakland at 9-2. But what a win they had in Week 12. And Tyreek Hill, what a game he had, Charles.
When you start talking about doing something that hasn't been done since Gale Sayers in 1965, rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, return touchdown in the same game, that's big-time performance. I mean, Tyreek Hill may be the fastest guy in the league now. When I see him with a football taking off, wow.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. And just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Incomplete. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Two yards to go here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Spencer Ware with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And it's up and good.